I'm New Age Server Alarm, and this is Mini System Test 15. Welcome to the Davis Center. Alright, so I got my notifier AFP 400, and as you can see I got a cabinet for it. It's no longer on that board. But it's an ADT branded cabinet, which is something I don't like. It's still a notifier cabinet, but it says ADT. So I took a little sticker and put it on there. Inside, you got the door, and notifier's unique little lock on the side, and stickers, and the dress panel with instructions. So now, let me pull the dress panel out. It's stuck. Ah! Why is it stuck? It's never been stuck before in his life. Alright, hold on. Ah! There we go. That thing's never gotten stuck before. Anyway, so there's the inside. Right here are the SLCs. The orange one is SLC1 and the black one is SLC2. Now this is supposed to be an orange terminal block, but I couldn't find one, so I had to use a black one. These two are the enunciator connection. This is for RS-485 enunciators, and this one's for terminal enunciators. Here's your printer connection and your computer terminal connection. Power and data and EEPROM. Here's the batteries and the transformers. And underneath that is the MPS 400 power supply. Right over here is the NACS. Down here is the resettable and the non-resettable power, and the relays, battery terminal, and high voltage terminal. So yeah, that's the inside of the AFP 400 with the cabinet. Oh yeah, and there's that thing, the drop-down door, which I decided to remove because it's quite annoying. There. See if I can put this dress panel back on without breaking it again. Without getting it jammed. There we go. Alright. And close the door. So I got a unique little system set up today, and basically I'm pretending there's two buildings, and here they are, and they're connected by a couple of things. Like, what I'm pretending is, let's say the west building was built in the early 90s or something. And it had an old simplex system like a 4002 and bell strobes. And between them there's a little skyway and a lobby. And then the east building, which was built at some later time, like probably the early 2000s. And the horn strobes got replaced at one point. So, yeah, so the east building was built, and the AFP 400 was built to put in for the east building. Also, the 4002 was removed from the west building, and the AFP 400 was expanded to cover the existing zones on the west building. So, here's what I got for devices. Here's pull stations. I got my Firelight, or fail. I got my Notifier NBG12LX, addressable pull station, flash scan, and I got my Simplex 425120, and I can't open that. The 4251 is wired to my FZM-1 zone module, and as you can see it's being pulled. Empty box. And I got an FRM-1 relay module. Funny story about these two. I bought this on eBay for very cheap, and I got shipped this one instead. So I contacted the seller, and he said I could keep this one, and he shipped this one. So I got this one for free. So yeah. Hooked up to NACS 1 and NACS 2 is the Gentex Commander 3. Now nowadays you'd use a sync module, or just use the synchronization coming straight out of the panel, but I don't have a Gentex sync module, and this panel doesn't have any kind of synchronization in it. And then I've got my AmSeco bell mounted on a simplex strobe plate. Now the reason why I'm using an AmSeco bell is because I don't have any DC powered simplex bells. So I have to substitute. And as usual, I got my Notifier SDX 551 addressable smoke detector. As you can see, it's being pulled. So, yep. So, what's going to happen now is I've programmed the system a little bit uniquely. When I activate the NBG12LX, it'll sound only the Commander 3s. When I activate the 4251-20, it'll sound only the bell strobe. And if I activate the smoke detector and the Skyway, it'll sound both of them. So, alright. So, here we go with the Commander 3. And you see I programmed that for audible silence. So reset that. Takes a little bit for the SLC to come back when you do a reset, so have to wait a minute. Okay, that should be good. Let's do the 4251-20 and ring the bell. Yeah, the strobe's not flashing much because it's being coded. The strobe isn't flashing much because it's being coded in code 3, so, yeah. Let's reset that. There we go, system normal. And I'm going to wait a little bit and do the detector. So, there. I'm going to do a magnet test of the detector. I got a small magnet here, and in case you're wondering, the letter T in paint is about where you're supposed to put the magnet. Kind of like a double thing because T means test. Alright, gotta hold it for a bit though because it does a little verification thing. There. I can hardly hear the commander over the bell. I can hardly hear the commander over the bell. Kind of surprised. And reset. There. All system normal. So now, let's do both pull stations. I can wait for the loop to come back. Alright. The way that relays work in control modules, this is a relay module, but they also make a control module. The difference is a relay module is a set of contacts, while a control module actually puts out 24 volts. But the way those work is when they're on, the light goes solid. So, let's reset that now. Watch the lights go out. There we go. And the camera didn't focus, but who cares? Yeah, so basically, how I got the system set up is like this. Show you a little bit of programming. Enter. Press 1 for programming, and then enter the programming password, which I'm not going to show on purpose, even though it's the default. So, let's go to point programming, and let's go to modify, and let's go to output circuit 01. That is the strobe on the Commander 3. See, right there is zone 20. These are called software zones, and that's how the system works. Software zone 20, which means that if software zone 20 goes into alarm, then this circuit will activate. So we do bell circuit number 2, which is the horn in the Commander 3, You see, it's also on zone 20, but it's also on zone special function 8, ZF8, which means it's coded instead of continuous. Kind of an odd way to do a system, but that's how notifier works. And lastly, the bell circuit. The bell of the strobe is on zone 30 and also zone F8. And yeah, this was present on all of them. The S means it's silenceable. If there's no S, it's not silenceable. The strobe circuit did not have an S. So now let's go to our module, pound 101 for the NBG12LX. And we got zone 4 and zone 20. Zone 4 is the pull station zone, and zone 20 is the zone that's used to alarm this, and only this. Alright? Let's go to the module that the Simplex pull station is hooked up to, zone 30. So, yeah. And now let's go to the detector. 101 is the address, and press enter. And as you can see, the detector alarms both zone 20 and zone 30. And there's sensitivity data. There. So, that might sound a little bit confusing, so let me draw out a little diagram for you. Alright? So let's say this white space is the system. Alright? Let's draw a box for zone 20 to 0. Let's draw another box next to it for zone 30. So the way I have this programmed is as follows. The address for the NBG12LX is 1M001. This is the newer format for putting out addresses, though. Here's the old format, and here is the new format. I like to put the hats on the ones. But anyway, this older format was used with these panels because they only went to 99 addresses. Since the newer panels can go to 159 addresses, they had to modify it slightly for 3 digits. And as you can see, this is a flash scan device. And you can see 15 and 9. That's the highest address. And on this one, which is an older clip device, you can see 9 and 9. Now this is not the same as Firelight, though. Firelight devices still only go up to 99, but Notifier goes up to 159, so, yeah. Anyway, so, zone 20, I've got the NBG12LX, which is 1M001. Actually, I should put a line here, and a line there. Input is on the top, output's on the bottom. If this whole thing goes into alarm, if any of these inputs go high, then the outputs go high. High meaning going on. Zone 30, I've got 1M002. My handwriting's bad when I'm doing it with one hand and sideways. But I've also got the detector, 1D001, on both, 1D001. So yeah. And for zone 20, I've got the 2 bell circuits, or the horn circuit and the strobe circuit, 01 and 02, and or output 1 and output 2. And on zone 30, I've got output 3, just like that. So all of this stuff is inside a bigger box called Zone 0. Zone 0 is the general alarm zone. If anything is programmed for Zone 0, it's going to set everything off. So, the alarm activate button on the front of the panel is set for Zone 0. And that'll set everything off regardless. So, yeah. That's pretty much how the system works. And, yeah. So a little more about the addresses and stuff. The number 1 here is the loop number, and the number 1 here is the loop number. These 2 digits are the address, and these 3 digits are the address. And that's how they work. M for modules, D for detectors, O for outputs. And, yeah. So that's a little bit about how this addressable system works. And if you got any questions, leave comment. So let me put the cap back on the marker. And I'll show a couple of other things with this panel real quick. You know what? Actually, screw it. I'll do it. Now I'll do it in another video. Sorry, guys. This video is already 15 minutes long, so there. That is my AFP 400 system. Spectral alerts on the MS2. That is my AFP 400 system. Have a great day, everybody.